Hey Mavericks, it's Michelle Daides here, and welcome to a very special solo episode of the Maverick Makers podcast. Today is one for the books because I'm doing something I've never done before and I'm saying it out loud. I'm 50. That's right, I just turned the big 50. And honestly, it actually feels pretty damn good. I just got back from the most amazing trip to Spain where I spent my birthday surrounded by my incredible family and some truly wonderful friends, and somewhere between the music, the long sangria-filled dinners, it hit me. There's so much more to live. Really, I was really struggling with that 50, I'm turning 50, half century, what is happening? But honestly, there's more chapters to write, more adventures to experience. So today, in honor of this milestone, I'm sharing 50 things I've learned as a Maverick. As a creative, as a mom, a business owner, a risk taker, and a woman constantly evolving. Some are personal, some are professional. All of them are hard-earned. Ready? So let's go. So I guess one of the first and biggest lessons is, if you don't know this, but being a maverick means taking risks, sometimes without a safety net, which is kind of my MO and the story of my life. I've done it over and over again. I'll start a business, I'll get into a product. I just jump without a net, and I've done it so many times, and yes, I've fallen flat on my face, but sometimes, or most of the times, I land on my feet. Sometimes I do get burned, but either way, I learn. So you have to just go for it. I know it can be totally terrifying, but you just have to do it. Number 2, you can reinvent yourself at any age. So I definitely like this one. And to be honest, throughout my career and my company, I have reimagined, repurposed, I have shifted, I have moved things around. When I first started my career, I was in real estate, then I went into product placement, then I started my own company, and then 10 years into my company, originally we were a PR and marketing firm. 10 years in, I lacked that creative pulse and I shifted our company 10 years into a full service video production, creative content agency. And I'm still reinventing myself. And for example, now I'm a product business owner in terms of Mr. Frank's Kitchen. So there are so many different things that you can do. I know I love that Mr. Kruk who started McDonald's started at 52. Ray Kruk, I can remember his name. That must be the 50 thing. Even Vera Wang at 50 started her fashion brand. So really at any age, doesn't matter if you're 20, doesn't matter if you're 30, doesn't matter if you're 50 or 60, you can reinvent yourself and it's totally fine. You don't have to stick to the same script. And if something no longer fits, it's up to you to rewrite it. You are the one with the power. Number 3, say your goals out loud. I really love the book The Alchemist, and I am all about manifesting and seeing things through. You have to say your goals out loud. Sing it from the rooftops, write it down, manifest it, and be okay if it changes. Your goals are allowed to change because they will, and they will, whether it's today, tomorrow, a year from now, goals have to change, and that's what makes you grow. But it's really important to say it out loud because that's how you make things happen, by saying them out loud. Number 4, surround yourself with people who cheer you on. Now, this is a lesson that I probably continue to learn, have learned, remind myself to remember, but you need to surround yourself with the right people, the positive people, the ones that are going to cheer you on. Not the ones that behind your back who are hoping that you secretly fail. You will know the difference. Believe in your intuition. Sometimes you get stuck being with people because of habit and whatnot, but you have to get rid of the negative and just focus on those people that are talking about you in a good way when you're not in the room. This is another one of my favorites, and it's number 5, which is life is hills and valleys. And this has been a saying that I've had from my 20s. So, life is hills and valleys, exactly that analogy. You might start at the bottom, you climb to the top of the mountain, you might slide down the mountain, end up back in the valley, and you keep climbing up to the hill. You'll stay up at the hill, and that's okay. And that's the rhythm. And that's what life is. It's ebbs and flows. And you have to sort of embrace that sometimes you'll sit in the valley and that's okay. And then there's other times you're going to be on top. So, really understanding and embracing that's what life is, that's what careers are, and all of that. Number 6, which I love, and again, this was a later life Maverick lesson, which is learn from people who are younger and smarter. So, ego has no place here, and curiosity is your superpower. And what I mean by that, it always makes sense to bring on people to your team, to your life who are younger, who are smarter. Learn from your children, learn from those young people who have just graduated from university, who have, the intel on what the latest trends are because they'll know, and some of the richest people in the world, billionaires, talk about exactly this. Bring on the smartest talent, people that are smarter than you because you can learn from them. And those are the people that are going to help you not only grow your company, but grow your life. Number 7 is listen and really listen. I think this is one of the most important skills to have in life is to listen. And it is seriously one of the most powerful tools in both your life and business because if you listen, you'll be able to understand somebody and whether if it's in business you can understand their pain point and then give it back to them in another way so that you're filling a gap for them and offering a product or service, and then listening even in your marriage, in parenting, that's going to really make things better. There's an understanding, and by listening you're able to move forward and understand the other person's position. This is almost like a poker game. So, listening is that ace in your pocket, in my opinion. So, number 8, I learned this lesson later in life for sure, which is don't be afraid to ask for what you want. So, bad saying, closed mouths don't get fed, but speak up and advocate for yourself. Because if you don't ask for what you want, people won't know what you want. So, again, whether this is in life, if you want something from your husband or wife or your kids, or in your career or in your business, or if you want to go after a client or you want to work with someone or collaborate, you need to ask and put it out there. Otherwise, people are not mind readers. I'm not a mind reader. You're not a mind reader. We need to know what you want. So, number 9, with rest comes productivity. I was part of the Ella Altitude program as part of Y Space, and one of my amazing colleagues in the program actually put forward this saying, and it stayed with me for the last, I'd say, 3 years, which is with rest again comes productivity. And what the heck does that mean? It means that burnout is not a badge of honor. Know when to pause and recharge. Trust me, this is one I am still learning. But I find that if I really allow myself to rest, then all of a sudden, when I am fully recharged, I am so much more productive. So I'm sure you can, catch yourself staring at the computer screen, doing absolutely nothing, forcing yourself to be productive, but it's just not coming. It's probably your body telling you you need to rest. And that rest could be 5 minutes. That rest could be an hour. That rest could be 3 days. But once you give your body the rest, I promise you, your body will be in full action mode to take on the next task or goal. All right. So I am going to salute Erica M, the amazing Erica M, for number 10, the 10 Maverick lesson, which is no often means not right now. Erica was on the podcast. She was actually my first podcast guest. And this is something she said to me, and it's, stuck with me. I've had, podcast guests say no to me. And then a year later, which I can't believe I've been doing this for almost a year, I've gone back to the same podcast guest and now it's a yes. And even with a client. So don't take the no. Don't take it personally. Just know that it's about timing. And this little mindset shift can change everything for you. All right, number 11, and I'm going to credit my mom for this one, which is get dressed for the role. What does that mean? It means get out of your sweatsuits, put on your makeup, brush your hair, put on your suit, put on your dress, and get dressed for the role. Get dressed for the part, get dressed for the job, get dressed. And it's all about visual storytelling and packaging yourself. So, packaging yourself for the job, the pitch, the client, first impressions count. We all know, and I hate to say it, people judge people. So, if you're wearing sweatpants, to an interview, which I hope you never do, but if you're wearing sweatpants versus the person who's wearing, a nice dress or suit, who's going to stand out? Who is the employer going to look at and say, this person is serious and wants this job, or this client is, you know, deserving of my work because I am dressing the part. All right, number 12. This one's, I'm still toying with, but I believe there is no such thing as balance. There isn't. It's a juggle, a dance, and some days the rhythm is off. So, really, if you are succeeding in your career and you're excelling, it is quite possible that your home life might be, you know, not failing, but it might be out of rhythm. It might mean like you have a messy house or something's happening in your relationship, but things usually aren't completely in balance. And you know what? I think we have to embrace that and say that's okay. Number 13, being a mom, because I am a mom, is hard. And I think we need to embrace that as women specifically. Being a mom and an entrepreneur can sometimes be impossible, honestly. But here's the magic. If you listen and you watch, I actually learn from my kids every day. They inspire me more than you'll ever know. And even though, there's days where there may be tantruming or there may be teenage drama, and then trying to get the motivation to work on your business is so frustrating. But then there's also that gift of being a mom. So just wanted to say thank you for that amazing gift. And, if you come from a place of gratitude, then things change, even though honestly, being a mom is hard. Number 14, doing things that scare you. This is a hard one, but it's true. Is that fear, it usually means you're about to grow. So if that means you've never done public speaking before, I urge you to get up on the stage and do it. If it's like you're wanting to jump out of a plane, which that's terrifying to me, do it because it's the things that scare you are going to push you forward. And that's what life's about, taking risks. Back to lesson number 1. It's about the risk taking that really make you that amazing maverick that you are. Number 15, listen to your intuition. The older I get, the more I tune into the secret power and it never lies. And honestly, I don't ignore it. Oprah even talks about, you know, being nudged by the universe, the like subtle tap on the shoulder. And then the next time it's a slap in the face. And then the next time it's a brick to the head. You have to listen. There is that intuition. When you don't listen, that's when things go awry and sideways. But when you do listen, you know, everything's amazing. Number 16, have fun. And that means have fun every day. Bring joy into your day, your life. Seriously, don't forget to play, especially when the stakes feel really high. So when you are stressed, try and have fun. Try and, if that means taking yourself out of the house and having a coffee or taking yourself out of the office, having lunch with someone, do it. Or being silly on the weekend with your kids. It's very, very important to relieve stress and put that smile on your face. Number 17, chase the passion and not the money. Again, I am going to say this is an Oprah one. She always talks about when you lead with love, the abundance flows. So it's not about chasing the dollar, it's about finding the passion, and that passion will bring the money. Number 18, work with people who align with your values. This is a non negotiable. Misalignment costs more in the long run. Honestly, have you ever worked with a client who you've said, "Ugh, this doesn't feel right?" And then in the end, it works out to be negative. And then the same with a job. Have you ever accepted a job and you've been there for 3 months and it doesn't sit well, but then you continue versus really finding the right people that align with what you want out of your life so that you're living your best life every single day. Number 19, and this is a hard one, but it's so, so true. Consistency beats talent. I know it's not sexy, but showing up every day, that's what wins. So, and it is true. You talk about athletes or actors, it's the ones that are doing it. Even, I committed to this LinkedIn challenge where I am posting every single day on LinkedIn. It is so hard, but I have seen the uptick in engagements and followers, and it is about consistency. It's not about how great your posts are, it's just about showing up. And those dang algorithms really support the consistency. Number 20, your network is your currency. So we know that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And it is so true. You have to build those relationships and nurture them. So really, really hone in on the people that you have met and, you know, hone those relationships, continue, reach out, be in contact, connect people. That's how you build your brand, your business. It's all about networking. Number 21, invest in your education. And I really believe this. It doesn't have to be formal. Like, I'm not telling you to go back to university, but if you did, that's wonderful. But, take a course, and it again, it doesn't have to be, learning AI, which I think is a great idea in any case, but maybe it's a pottery course, maybe it's a painting class. Just invest in your education, but learning is power. Learn from a mentor. I love masterclass. I just saw that Mark Cuban's on masterclass. Do something that's just gonna stimulate your brain so that you can keep evolving. Number 22, and I think this one is super important, which is be curious. Be curious in every day. Ask questions, lots of them. Stay a student, just like investing in your education. By asking questions, that's how you learn. So whether it's a course or just being curious, you need to grow by learning. Number 23, reach out to people you admire. This one may be scary, but I guarantee if you do it, 9 times out of 10, you'll get a response. So slide into the DMs, send the email. You never know what doors will open. Just ask. Number 24, and I think this one's really, really important to me, which is be a mentor and find one too. So I've been lucky enough throughout my life and career to have different mentors along the way who have taught me different things, who have opened doors, and for me, because I've had that opportunity or opportunities, and I've been so grateful, it is so important for me to be that mentor to young people, older people, offer whatever skill set or knowledge that I have to elevate others because, again, I was lucky enough to have that. Number 25, along the same lines as mentorship, giving back. Giving back will feed your soul. It's an intrinsic reward. It's so important, whether it's time, money, energy, contribute to causes that resonate with you. Number 26, be the change. Oh my goodness, this one is so important. There's so many people that talk, 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 and no action, but be the change. make it happen, do the action. If you want something to change, you have to make it change. And it can be on like a micro level or a macro level. And what I mean by that is like, let's say there's a parking situation on your street and everyone's complaining, you reach out to the bylaw officer and make that change. Another thing could be some kind of global cause where, animal cruelty, and you end up petitioning the government. So any type of change is so important. Number 27, lead by example. Your actions speak louder than Instagram. So that should be self explanatory. Number 28, play fair and be fair to yourself. You matter in the equation too. So in business, in life, be fair. And if you don't know what that means, step back and really think about your position on something. Are you being fair? And are you being true and authentic to what you believe in when you're making your decisions? Really think about it. Number 29, and I will give praise to my dad on this one, which is if you fall down, get back up. It's really hard. And I understand that sometimes in this economy or whatever, wherever you are in life, divorce, just lost a job, you're going to fall down. And that's what life's about. But it's important to realize that resilience is your greatest asset. So pick yourself back up, dust yourself back off, play that Taylor Swift track, shake it off, and get back up because you're the only one that's going to get yourself back up. Number 30, only you can make yourself happy. I'll give this one to my mom. So she's right. So she always says that you come to this world by yourself and you leave by yourself. And that might sound very lonely and sad, but actually it is the truth. And if you look at it from a different perspective, it makes a lot of sense. You're the one who is responsible for your own happiness. You are the only person that will do that. Number 31. You get more with honey than vinegar. Okay, I'll have to admit, sometimes, there's anger, there's rage, but when you step back and you use the kindness and use it wisely, I guarantee you're going to get more. I probably am looking at this not from a business perspective, but from, the household perspective with my kids and negotiating. But it is true, honey works better than vinegar. Not all the time, but most of the time. Number 32, keep in touch. It is so important. Back to that network lesson, to send that follow-up, to make that call. Relationships are like gardens and they need to be tended to. So you have to keep in touch with people. That saying, be top of mind, because there's 100 million different things going on in this world, in your business. And if you're not on top of mind, people are going to forget. Number 33, which is invest in a strong team. And what I mean by that is your advisory team. So, again, whether you have a business or you don't, it's really important to find the right lawyers, the right accountants, the right whoever that you can go to for advice. Whether it's refinancing your mortgage or you want to start a business, you need the right people that are going to give you informed guidance so that you can make the right decisions. Number 34, give referrals and ask for them too. This one's really, really important as a small business owner. Referrals are everything. So not only ask for them, which is, key once you've done a great piece of work, ask for them. But I think it's always important to support your fellow owner by, giving referrals too, because those connections are so important and it really helps someone grow a business. Number 35, and this is a hard one, even today for me, which is show up every day. So even if you don't feel like it, and to be honest, I was struggling recording this episode, but I said, you know what? I committed to this, so I'm going to show up. I got dressed up, I put on my makeup, and I showed up. And hopefully it's appreciated. Number 36, lead with gratitude. So start your day with what you do have, not with what you don't. And I guarantee if you come from that perspective, your whole day, your whole mindset is going to shift. So instead of saying, "Oh my God, I have bills to pay," you could start off your day saying, "I have a roof over my head." So just that little shift will make such a difference in your life. Okay, this one's really exciting, and I just learned about it a few years back, and it's number 37, which is called the reverse bucket list. And this is amazing. So, what it is, it's about, people have this bucket list before they die. Like, I want to go to Greece, I want to jump out of a plane, I want to do this, that, and the other. So, this one celebrates your wins. So, it's celebrating what you've already accomplished or done. So, I have, directed and I produced a documentary film that was on Netflix. I have mentored, a lot of students throughout my career. I am now a partner in Mr. Frank's Kitchen. So celebrating all those things, because sometimes we get stuck in the imposter syndrome, in the life sucks. But if you have that list in, a journal, you can go back to it and say, hey, you know what? I'm not so bad. Number 38, say yes, then figure it out. So, some of the most successful people have taught me that it's better to say yes than no. I can understand there is something called boundaries, and sometimes we have to say no. But if it's in business, try and say yes, even if it is a terrifying yes, because it will open the door to so many opportunities. Number 39, delegate. Holy moly, this one's a tough one. You are not meant to do it all. So seriously, delegate. For me, I work with a team of freelancers. So, I delegate that way. But in my house, I was struggling to keep my house clean and it was driving me crazy. And I finally decided that I'm getting a cleaning lady and it has been a game changer. So delegate, delegate your life, delegate your business, delegate your work, just delegate, delegate, delegate. Kids take out the garbage, delegate. Number 40, you don't need everyone to like you. Again, this is such a hard one to embrace, but it's true. You're not going to be liked by everyone. And I think once you embrace that, life will be so much better. Number 41, celebrate the small wins. They build momentum for the big ones. So, one of them, as small, could be, hey, I made it through the day without a cup of coffee. If your goal is to cut out caffeine, it's just a small little thing, but it's a small win, and that's okay. It's all about the small wins. And maybe eventually it's about, getting your health back on track, and that would be the big win. Number 42, build a business that supports your life, not the other way around. So, this is all about the shifting and reinventing yourself as well as if your business doesn't currently support you, how can you shift it so that it does support you? So, for example, my children play soccer and we're out, almost every single night. And I've learned that I now have to end my day around 4:30 p.m. So really trying to figure out how to be effective during those short hours during the day so that I can have that time for my kids. It's been a shift, but it's made me a lot happier. What that does mean is there's on occasion where I do have to, work some late nights or work on the weekend, but that allows me the freedom to be present for my family. Number 43, don't apologize for your ambition. If it's not a flaw, it's fuel. It's amazing to have big dreams and drive, and don't ever apologize to yourself or anybody else because this is your dream and you're allowed to put fuel on the fire and it's totally fine. Number 44, perfection is an illusion. Progress, perfection, always. So I, did a recent post on LinkedIn about exactly this. Don't be stuck in perfection. Perfection is not real. Perfection is those apps on Instagram that make pictures pretty and whatnot, and filming content 100 times over until you get the perfect take. Post the third take. It's all about not being stuck in perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. Nobody has the perfect life. We know that. Just keep going. Number 45, be present. This is a hard one, especially in the age of phones and social media, but try and put the phone down. Look someone in the eye. Be where your feet are. The perfect example, I was in Spain this summer. We were in a piazza just having, a coffee. Everybody there was talking to each other. There were no phones on the table. They were laughing, there was eye contact. It was such an interesting experience. I think as North Americans, we get stuck in all of this phone business, and I wish it would go away, but that's a whole other topic. Number 46, document your journey. You'll be surprised how far you've come. So, what does that mean, documenting your journey? That means taking photos, that means taking video, that means writing in a journal so that you can go back a year from now and see how far you've progressed. Number 47, laugh at yourself. Laugh at yourself often. It's totally freeing. It's important to not take yourself so seriously because life isn't serious. And, laugh. Laugh's good. Laugh's medicine. It's amazing. 48, don't let fear drive the car. Acknowledge it, sure, but don't let it steer. So, fear often drives the car. We know that. But you have to take over and push fear to the side, and you hit the accelerator and just say, bye bye, fear. See you later. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in neutral. Number 49, I love this one. This is very sweet. Say, I love you more. So, to your partner, your kids, your friends, yourself, Mel Robbins talks about high-fiving yourself every morning in the mirror, and that's the same thing. Like, say I love you to yourself. And what does that mean? Really loving yourself and really loving the people around you. It's so important because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Number 50, 50, 50, 50. Celebrate yourself. Yay. And what does that mean? Not just on birthdays, but every day you're doing better than you think. So there you have it. 50 things I've learned in 50 years as a Maverick. Holy cow, that was a long list, but hopefully you got something from it. Some are lessons I learned the hard way, others were whispered to me in quiet moments, but all of them come from the heart. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for walking this path with me. I'm excited for what the next chapter holds for me, for you, for all of us Mavericks out there who dare to do things differently. If this episode resonated, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. Maybe they just turned 50 or maybe they didn't, and you've got lessons of your own to add. I'd love to hear them. DM me, email me, tag me. Let's keep this conversation going. Here's to being bold, being curious, being kind, and being 50. Until next time, keep making waves. Let's go. The Maverick Makers podcast is sponsored by Maverick Makers Content Creation Collective. We fuel your content pipeline through video, photography, design, and editorial. Let's connect to your audiences and make more sales. Learn more at maverickmakersco.com.